My name is Mick, and I would describe myself as a conservative. You might say I lean towards the right wing. To me, leftist tree-hugging liberals like my buddy over here have totally missed the point. How can anyone call themselves a Christian and listen to the kind of music he's listening to? My biggest concerns about where our society is heading? Well, I think my biggest concerns are the erosion of family values. I think we need more censorship. I also think it's really important for my family to be around other people that think like we do. It's important that our family friends share our values and that we can trust our children with them. My biggest concern with the government, well, is that they could be doing so much more to legislate morality. They should pass more laws to enforce family values and stop the moral corruption that's going on. They should stop encouraging people to depend on welfare and make them go out and get a job. It's one thing to talk about peace and mung beans, but I think a mature Christian will read a lot. You know, I'm not afraid of big theology books and long words. Herman Ridderbos says that it is the emphatic recognition of the Christological content of the synoptic kerygma which has revealed the limits of the eschatological purport of the gospel of the kingdom to a wide circle of people without any relapse into the hypotheses of liberal theology.
Whoa, can we get a replay on that one?
The Christological content of the synoptic kerygma which has revealed the limits of the eschatological purport of the gospel of the kingdom.
And I quite agree with him. Do you? Also, I insist on attending churches where there is solid expository preaching, particularly preaching systematically through Paul's epistles such as Romans or Galatians. And when it comes to the Sermon on the Mount, I'm sure that Matthew's account of "Blessed are the poor in spirit" really captures Jesus' intention more clearly than Luke's account of Jesus saying, "Blessed are the poor." When we go shopping, I take the family to the new shopping centre in our suburb. It's got everything under one roof. There's no smoking in there. And most of the people who go there are from good suburbs. And my kids don't get exposed to rough people with their foul language. What kind of work do I do? Well, I'm a financial advisor, which I think is really good because I get to help people invest wisely and grow their net worth so they can retire comfortably. Doing a job like that helps me get respected in the church I go to as well. When I talk to people about God, I think it's really important to stress that the issues are black and white, and that those people need to get their lives right with God. I wouldn't mind helping the poor out a bit, but there must be plenty of bleeding hearts and artists doing that already. Hey man, well, amazingly my name is also Mick, but I describe myself as a liberal. You might say I lean towards the left, which is why I wear my bleeding heart t-shirt. Well, to me, a stuck-up conservative like Mick over here is completely out to lunch. And how can anyone call themselves a Christian and be so out of touch with anyone born after man landed on the moon? My biggest concerns about where our society is heading, well, not quite like his. I'm a whole lot more bothered about how this dude disposed of his oil than what movies he wants to see banned. You know, his wardrobe's a walking advertisement for hoity-toity fashion labels. I think his carbon footprint's probably bigger than Sasquatch. Man, I really dig exposing my family to boatloads of different cultural experiences. I want my kids to know what a big world it is and celebrate the awesome differences that God's created. My biggest concern with the government, well, I think they should just butt out of people's moral lives and start legislating more social equality. You know, their budgets always favour these middle-class conservative suits and their blood-sucking corporations. They don't care squat for the environment or the underprivileged. You know what else? I just don't get this heavy book thing. There's just such a vibe experiencing God through music and art and the world outdoors. So I really think long sermons and big words just turn people off. I'd much rather engage in some dialogue about one of Jesus' parables. No chance I'd take my family into that capitalist, consumerist, status-obsessed shopping centre. We're strictly organic at the local markets. At least the dope-smoking hippies down there don't sell my kids shoes that were made in Asian sweatshops. You know, of course Jesus said, "Blessed are the poor." That's what the whole Bible's about. God's a God of mercy. And I think you see that especially in the New Testament. You know, we've got to welcome people just as they are, like Jesus did, not judge them. There's no way I would work for one of those evil multinational corporations. I know Mr. Holy Man here frowns on me, but I work in a pub in the city where I get to meet real, down-to-earth people who enjoy life. You know, the conservatives here bang on about absolute black and white truth, but I don't want to push my views onto people. I'd rather live out the love of God around them, you know? Preach the gospel and, if necessary, use words.